Hey, Klay.
Yo.
What do you think, first of all, of the backdrop behind you?
It's pretty cool. Cool.
Just how about for you guys to come back from tough loss in Sacramento? What did it mean to be able to close out a Clippers team like this?
It was a tough loss. Just felt really good to get back on track, especially after a tough one we let slip away, and hopefully we build off it and go do the same thing in Los Angeles.
It's the second time you guys have come off a tough loss and found a way to win. You guys lost to OKC in an overtime game, came back and beat Houston tonight, come back and you beat these guys. What does it say about you guys as a team?
That we're still figuring it out, and we have the ability to bounce forward. I think our history together is an example of that, so it's never going to be easy. You can't win 65 games every year, unfortunately, but we can still end up with a great record at the end of the regular season as long as we don't continue doing the things that have us with a losing record at the moment.
Key point in the fourth quarter, you guys are up 7. You scored 10 points in 90 seconds. You guys are up 13. What was that feeling like?
That felt so good. Because at times I feel like I can be pressing, and I obviously want to make every shot I take. I wish basketball was that easy, but, I'm proud of myself, even when I'm 2 for 12, whatever I was, not getting discouraged. I would have been very disappointed if I ended that way. Instead, I kept hunting good shots and stayed positive, and it worked out for me. It felt great.
I wanted to kind of ask you about a specific play that started that stretch. Ball got to Kuminga in the corner. He kind of gave you a little, DHO in the corner. What does that show about him and kind of the way he played tonight and his growth to recognize that and execute it?
Shows that he trusts me, and JK is sky's the limit for his career. He can do things you can't teach, especially his ability to elevate above the rim. And his jumper looked great tonight. It was smooth and great backspin. And he took great shots, and he played very good defense on some of the best players in the world. And it's just a joy to see him grow. Sometimes we forget he's only 21 years old, and he's got so much basketball ahead of him.
You spoke about the graphic. You said it was cool. It's 11/30/23 day. So yourself, Steph, and Dre day, and then you have the game that you have. It's the fourth quarter that you have. You flex on them a little bit, and you stay pretty even keel most times. So that being said, I know you said it's cool, but Steph said it's special to be able to look at something like that. Do you have any type of feelings like that about it? Is it special? Is it a reflecting moment?
Yeah. No, it's definitely special. It's very rare in pro sports that you get to be teammates with guys for over a decade. And we've done some pretty historic things together. I'm not satisfied, but when you're going to look, hopefully when our careers are done, you look back on what we were able to do, you can say it's one of the better trios to play in the NBA. So just to be even in that conversation with some of the greatest ever play is incredibly cool. And I'm a big basketball historian, and, to look at us three and think that we've won championships, in the same realm as guys like McHale, Bird, and Parrish, or Manu, Tim, and Tony. Hopefully Steph, Klay, and Dre will leave a legacy like they did.
Hey, Klay, you got to play against these guys on the Clippers for the first time. You see all those guys, especially you being someone who has Southern California roots. You see that team, have to play against them, know the story. What do you feel like stands out about them, and what were your first impressions of what they look like on the floor?
Well, they got to be one of the more talented teams in the world, and I think they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, they all, went to high school in SoCal. I played against James Harden in high school. I played with Paul George on my AU team. So it's just an honor to be playing against these guys still. And we're doing it at a high level, too, in our 30s. It's pretty special. And I think they'll be a threat come playoff time. They got a lot of talent, and Ty Lue's got a lot of experience. Nice. Cool. Great. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, sorry.
Stephen, what are your thoughts about the art in the room behind you there?
I mean, it's special. It's kind of a reminder of how special the journey has been. It's hard to really reflect or watch the highlights and all that just because it's, we're still in it and still trying to chase more, stay competitive, continue to evolve as people and as basketball players. But every once in a while you do need a reminder of how special and legendary us three have been, these 12 years, all the teammates that we've played with over the course of the journey, and honestly kind of let you smile a little bit to, look ahead at the challenge that's in front of us to, maintain that winning kind of expectation. So it's all of it is really, really dope.
Along those lines, Klay went off for 10 points in 90 seconds tonight. Your thoughts?
We needed it, and that was, a timely run, especially how our fourth quarters have been, or how they were, how it was in sacks. So for him to, get hot, he hit a bunch of different shots. He hit, I think it was a three, then an elbow jumper, got the and one. I think another layup, so it was, yeah. It's a reminder, again, with the way our team is built and the way teams defend us, you never know when it's going to come, and the selflessness of how we need to play, when the ball is moving, it's usually going to find the right person. And I know he didn't have much going before that run, and that's Klay. Stay confident, let the game come to you. Good things happen. It was great to see him smile. Got the crowd into it. It was much needed.
To kind of go back to the first question and follow up behind that, you took a minute to look at the artwork, and I know you knew it was 11:30:23. They had things on the board there. How special is that? I mean, you kind of spoke on that, but if you can kind of elaborate on how special it is, because Steve Kerr said the same thing earlier. When you think about it and you think about those things, how special is that?
1/7 of the NBA's history we've been playing together. 4 banners. I know Raymond's math was phenomenal with the 11:30:23 equals 64, 6 finals, 4 championships. Like I said, it's special, and it's just a nice deep breath to appreciate what's gone into us still being, in this position to be playing together, and not just like a ceremonial or ceremonious, my grammar people. Thank you. Thing, it's like we're still, realistically trying to contend for a championship. So I'm sure we'll be a little bit more eloquent about it when we come back after our careers are over with. But it's dope. 12 years doing anything with a certain group it means something.
That's it. And considering all the math you just mentioned, when you think about the fact that you guys got a win today, Klay played the way he did, like you said, you needed that, and you said there's a challenge ahead. Taking all of that in, is that motivation at all? Because all you've heard today, and I know you guys probably don't listen too much to it, but it's an end of an era. It's an end of an era. But
we don't hear anything. Okay. We're pretty much immune to any news or headlines. Sarcasm. Yeah. We don't need any extra motivation because we obviously know how hard we work to prepare ourselves. Me being 15 years in, Klay 13, Draymond 12, it's a lot of reps. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of emotional roller coaster that's gone over the years, and even this year, it's even harder. It's going to continue to get harder, and so yeah, I think it's as a hooper and a competitor, you don't have much time to reflect. So I guess this was kind of a forced kind of moment, which is cool. Because you never like to just pat yourself in the back. That's not what we're trying to do. It's just, gratitude and appreciation, for sure.
Steve said, when it comes to limiting the fouls tonight, limiting the turnovers, putting together such a complete game.
We only had 7 turnovers?
Yeah. So.
Well, I'll be.
He said, Ron Adams said, you guys just need the motto of, no more buffoonery.
Who said that?
Ron Adams.
Of course he did.
Yeah. It's a good word choice.
That's a great.
But does it, putting together these complete games, carrying this forward, does it come down to really just limiting the buffoonery?
I mean, yeah, some of that stuff is self-inflicted, like in the last minute of Sacramento. I mean, winning changes the vibe immediately. And when you look at the margins of where a game can turn, where momentum can turn, where you just give away possessions or free throws or whatever the case is, those sting because those are controllable. It's still, there's a lot of talent on both sides of the court every night, and so even if you play a perfect game in those areas, you could still lose. Things can still go wrong, but when you feel like it's self-inflicted, that's where you lose sleep, in the regular season. And there are bad habits that have the potential to build into who you are as a team and will show up at the wrong times, whether it's big games throughout the year, trying to develop momentum throughout the year, or in the playoffs. So all that stuff matters. We talk about it all the time. And I know I'm imagining every NBA team talks about those things because they impact winning so much. It's just the team that can actually execute it the most consistently will be the better teams, talent aside. So it matters.
What'd you like from Kuminga tonight?
He's just a dog on defense, and when he's communicating and physical on the ball, using his athleticism, he can be a real disruption out there. And then offensively, we had a certain game plan based on how the Clippers like to guard us, and he knocked down shots that were right there for him, ball swinging, him taking the open ones. I got him in a couple pick and rolls, got downhill. That's the type of game that he can thrive in when he's taking on an individual matchup, while staying within the structure of our team defense, and then offensively using his gifts to make plays. So it was efficient too. It was 24 minutes, and that stat line is beautiful. Making an impact.
You won't have Gary for a while, and Wiggins and Chris for however long. How important is he in this stretch, particularly? You mentioned it as an individual defender.
Huge. Our depth is going to be tested, while those guys are out. So, I know he only played 9 minutes in Sacramento, and got to be ready for whatever he's called and asked to do, and he did that. So he can plug a lot of holes defensively because he is, everything I just said, is a gifted defender when he's locked in and focused on taking that challenge, but communicating and being within the strategy that we're doing that night. And usually when that happens, you get rewarded on the other end too. So it was good to see.
Steve highlighted a play that Podziemski blew up, a Clippers play that he blew up at the end of the game. What have you noticed about Brandon's ability to sort of do the little things and especially to close a game like that?
If it's hard to watch a game that he's out there and not see what he's doing every possession on both ends, because he's so active, smart, physical. The care factor is always there. He's playing hard, so that's all you can do, especially as a rookie when you're trying to figure out where you fit. And it's no surprise. I didn't even know he played 30 minutes like that. He's just out there flying around, taking on the challenge, playing sound basketball on both ends, and just competing. We've seen that from jump, from the summers when we were playing pickup to now. He always tries to find a way to just play winning basketball. It might not be flashy, but it's productive every night. So it's great to see because, I mean, for him, like, the way he rebounds, moves the ball, makes the easy pass. Like, he can hoop. We all know that.
Steph, pardon if this has been asked tonight or before, but it's the first time you're getting to see the version of the Clippers team that has James and with Kawhi, with Paul. You played with and against a lot of different teams that had that top-heavy star power. Like, what makes this particular one stand out and be unique after you played them?
A lot of talent, a lot of guys that can create, can score, have been the man on respective teams throughout the years. All three of them probably certified Hall of Famers, so you got to respect their individual talent and the fact that any given possession, somebody can make a play. You can't get deflated if they make a spectacular play or a tough shot, because that's what they all do. And they present a challenge, so you have to be really locked in five-man defense. And I know they're still figuring each other out, and you know it's hard to see what they're going to look like next 20 games, next 40 games, however that plays out. But they're tough, and you got to be locked in.
Great, thank you.